Hello aspirants, welcome to GS Core in our initiative of daily current affairs through MCQs. I am Ashutosh and let's see the topics we have for today's MCQs. So in the topics of the day, we have long period average of monsoon. Why in news? Because the IMD, the Meteorological Department has predicted that India will have 106% of the monsoon, that is the above normal, and under that above normal criteria the long period average of the monsoon has been taken. So that's why a MCQ has been framed on the long period average of monsoon and with regard to that monsoonal. Okay. The next topic is wholesale price index. Why in news? Because today it has been observed that there was a 0.53 increase in the index of WPI, wholesale price index WPI, which measures the fluctuation in the prices of wholesale products. Okay, so we'll look on that. Third number, Kandukuri Veeresalingam. Today was his birth anniversary. 16th April was his birth anniversary, and he was a Telugu poet. He was a Telugu poet and social reformer. The Starlink, very much in news because India has given the permission for the Starlink. Okay, it has got the in principle not to operate in India. So the not to operate, that's why it has been used, and based on that question has been framed. The CGI, Chief Justice of India, because approx 21 High Court and the other judges have written a letter to CGI to see the tendencies of defaming the judiciary at large by some vested political interests. So that's why office of CGI was in news, and a question might come on in UPSC with regard to the CGI office. Okay, so let's see the questions we have. We'll see the questions, concept, and some of the skills which are necessary to understand and eliminate by using the logic and reasonings. Okay, so let's see the first statement we have. The first question itself, that consider the following statement in regard to monsoon in India. So we have to consider the following statement in regard to monsoons in India. Topic was the long period average. So first statement says that long period average for rainfall in India is calculated by IMD, that is true, through weighted average of last 10-year period and seasonal fluctuation in the El Nino and La Nina. Well, in this statement only a factual wrong is there, that if you are aware with the newspaper, in the newspaper it has been covered that this was not for the 10 years period, but the period starting from 1971 to 2021 is the long term average period, that is approx 50 years average has been counted to predict the long period average for rainfall in India. And the IMD said that now India will have the 106% annual rainfall, that is the above normal range, above normal range. And of course the seasonal fluctuation like El Nino and La Nina, which has a huge impact on the India's monsoon, because this is concerned with the emergence of the warm water. Okay, and the La Nina means the boy child, because at times it said that when La Nina comes it is good for the monsoon, and nowadays it has been observed by IMD that there is a weakening of the El Nino. By the season of monsoon the El Nino will weaken, it will be in neutral direction, and by the second part or the second half of the season of monsoon La Nina will be much stronger. So that's why 106% higher rainfall will be observed in India, that is through the long period average which has been calculated. It is taken as the average of rainfall from period of 1971 from to 2021, and this year it will be 106% above normal due to the weakening of the El Nino and the transition of the weakening El Nino into the neutral position before the start of monsoon and emergence of La Nina towards the later half of the season. Okay, so this statement is incorrect. Why? Because not the 10-year period average but a 50 years. Statement number 2, 90 to 100% of the average of reference year is taken as the above normal. No, it is again incorrect one. Why it is incorrect? Because for above the normal average and the normal and average we have some criteria. First of all, we take the criteria for the normal, that is the 96% to 104%, it will be called as a normal, it will be called as normal. Then we have from 105 to 110%, it is we call as above normal. And in this criteria this season monsoon has been predicted to be above normal. Then we have another criteria, that is from 90 to 95%, that is considered as the below normal, that is considered as the below normal. And then we have in the range of 90 or less than 90, it is called the depression in the monsoon, or it is called the deficient years. ठीक है. So you have to also a task for you, see the trend of the monsoon of past 10 years. लास्ट 10 सालों में मानसून का ट्रेंड क्या है भारत के अंदर, वो आपको देखना है. So of course this is second number statement is also incorrect. Why? Because not to 90-100% is above normal, but above normal is here in this range 105 to 110 percentage. Okay, that is the long period average for 50 years. Third statement says the rainfall during the June-September monsoon season account for 75% of India's rainfall. Yes, correct. Nothing wrong in that. Our answer will be only one, because the southwest monsoon we have in the June-September, which also for the Kharif crop has a 75% of the requirement of rainfall in India that has been fulfilled. We have another rainfall season, which is the northeastern, and you have to comment in the box that which of the regions receive in India the rainfall from these two seasons of monsoon, winter and the summer monsoon season. Okay, so let's see the next question we have. Consider the following statement regarding the wholesale price index. This is the price index which calculates the prices at the wholesale level, the fluctuation of the prices at the wholesale level. First of all, what is inflation? Inflation is the general rise in the level of prices, and here we have to count at the level of wholesale, that is not for the sale to consumer, but from a party A to party B, in which both party A is a producer and party B is a buyer. So there is no involvement of consumers. So wholesale रेंज पे आपको ये प्राइस का फ्लक्चुएशन दिखता है wholesale price index के अंदर. And basically wholesale price index, it track the change in the price of goods. What is this? It track the changes in the price of goods. Those who are new will be beneficial for you, of goods in the stages before the retail level, that is when the ultimate consumer receive the product. Okay, the goods, that is the goods sold in bulk, that is the goods sold in bulk and traded between organization and traded between organizations instead of consumers. So this is the basic definition of WPI, that is the wholesale level prices. Okay, and the index basket of wholesale level price index cover commodities falling under the three major groups, namely which of the commodities they can cover? The primary articles. Okay, the primary articles, food articles, fuel, power, etc. The commodity which is count. Okay, so let's see the statement we have. It captures the price changes at the factory level. Yes, correct. And it is a pure commodity index and does not involve services. Yes, true. It doesn't involve services. Why? Because services are not for the wholesale. They mainly capture the CPI. Services mainly capture in the CPI, which has the fluctuations. So ultimate fluctuations में wholesale price में नहीं आता है. It is mainly, that's why it doesn't involve the services. It only involves the commodity index. Okay, and it is a pure commodity index, and the prices which it count at the factory level, जहां से वो manufacture होता है. The base year, so one statement is correct here. Second statement says that base year of all India WPI has been revised from 2004-5 to 2016-17 in 2021. No, it is incorrect. Why? Because the base year of all India WPI has been revised from 2004-5 to 2011 and 12, and this has been done in 2017. Okay, so it is not revised in 2021 to 2016-17. It is not the base year. The base year is the 2011 and 2012, which has been revised in the year 2017. Okay, this is the factually and the great information which you can use in your examination. So number 2 is incorrect. So of course we only have 3 and 4 remaining. The third statement says the index is published by the Ministry of Commerce Industries. Yes, true. You see the logic here, wholesale price index, commerce and industry, because you have the commodity here without any services. So of course the Ministry of Commerce and Industry will be the publishing office with the office of economic advisor under the Department of Industrial Promotion. Okay, so the wholesale price index is computed by the office of economic advisor, OEA is a short form, Okay, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, which is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Okay. Number fourth statement, third is all correct. Fourth one, it is the most widely used inflation indication in India but doesn't reflect the sentiment of general public. Yes, true. Why true? See the logic here. General public means CPI, consumer price index, and here it only computes the pure commodity and factory level. So that's why it will not reflect the real sentiment of the general public. However, it is most widely used inflation indicator in India. That's why it has been criticized that this is the most widely used, but it doesn't reflect the sentiment of general public. Okay, debate is going on there. Basically, WPI is used in developing countries. Okay, and in that respect, we have to see the 1, 3, and 4 are correct. So only 3 will be correct, not all 4 will be correct. Why? Because base year is 2011-12, not the 2016-17. So only 3 are correct here. And why in use? Of course, the WPI rose marginally high of 3 month of 0.53% due to increase in the prices of vegetable and crude oil. So of course, it consists the vegetable and crude oil prices. Why? Because in the situation of trade wars, etc., there is a rise in the cost of fuel. And if the rise in the cost of fuel means the trucks and the transportation which is consuming the fuel to transport the goods and like vegetables, etc., the food articles, they will be investing more, they will be purchasing more higher rate fuels. So of course that cost of fuel will be computed in the final sale of the goods. So that's why there's an inflation being observed, and especially in the vegetable and the prices of crude oil. So driven by that, of course, it has an impact on the ultimate thing which is passed on to the consumer. They will pay a higher price on that goods. Why? Because of the high inflation in the crude oil and the relative impact of that inflation in the crude oil on the vegetables. Okay, I hope the points are clear to you. In particular, from the prelims point of view, the food articles in the WPI consist of the cereals, paddy, of course, wheat, pulses. UPSC can ask in the match the following or anything like that. Vegetables, potato, onion, fruits, milk, egg, meat, fish. In the non-food articles, oil seeds can also be there. Okay, in the minerals will be covered by the WPI, the change in the price level of minerals, crude petroleum, and fuel and power. So these articles will be covered under the WPI. Okay, cereals, paddy, wheat, pulses, vegetables, onion, potato, fruit, milk, egg, fish, meat, etc., oil seeds, mineral, crude products. I hope the concept is clear to you and how to see the logical reasoning in these questions. Basically, you see the name of the ministry corresponding into what it does. Okay, so let's see the next question we have. Question number third. Which of the following is correct regarding the kandukuri veeresalingam? Okay, basically he was in news because of his birth anniversary. Okay, he was born on the April 16 को born हुआ था 1848 में. Date is important. Why? Because of this date you will be able to eliminate some of the options here or make them correct. Okay, so basically Kandukuri Veeresalingam, he was a reformer, he was a social reformer, and he was a Telugu poet, and he was basically hailed as the prominent writer and the father of the Telugu Renaissance movement, and is known for his significant contribution to literature and social reform in Andhra Pradesh. He wrote a very famous book. Okay, he wrote a very famous book in the Telugu literature known as the Rajashekara Charita, very famous one in Telugu. And he also participated, he was a member and he participated in the first meeting of इसका, if he born 1848, 1885 में किसका मीटिंग हुआ था? INC, Indian National Congress. He also was a member of that Congress. He participated in that. Okay, then one very famous, he was also a follower of Rajaram Mohan Roy. He was inspired by Rajaram Mohan Roy and established the Andhra Pradesh first Brahma Mandir based on the Brahma Samaj. Brahma Mandir in 1887 in Rajamundry. Okay, basic information about him. So let's see the questions which have. If the following is correct, so we have to find the correct statement regarding the Kandukuri veeresalingam. He is often hailed as the father of Telugu Ganesha. Yes, it's true. Veeresalingam established Andhra Pradesh first Brahma Mandir in Rajamundry. Yes, in 1887. I have just told you. Third statement says C number. He was among the first attendees of the first Indian National Congress meeting. Yes, true. In 1885, he attended that meeting, and he was a very famous man. So that's why we have taken this question based on that. And UPSC has been in the tradition to frame the question on famous personalities nowadays. So D, all of the above. Yes, all of the above is the answer, because A, B, C, and D, all of the above are correct. And he was born on April 16, 1848, and social reformer, father of Telugu Renaissance, established Brahma Mandir in Rajmundry 1887, and Brahmo Samaj के follower थे. He was inspired by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and he participated in the first attendees of the Indian National Congress meeting. Okay, so let's see the next question we have. You have the following statement regarding Starlink. Consider we have to follow and see if above are correct or not. Okay, first say it is a satellite internet service provided to mobile phones. No, very narrow impression, not only mobile phones. Okay, so basically it is indeed a satellite internet service provider. However, it does not provide direct to mobile internet commercially to consumers. Okay, one statement is incorrect. Why? Because very direct and very illogical interpretation of the Starlink. If you may have read the Starlink, you will be able to eliminate it very easily. Second statement says Starlink satellites are placed below the Karman line for low latency. Karman line, very important concept. Karman line just 100 km above the Earth's surface, 80 to 100 km above the Earth's surface, and the Starlink satellite are placed nearby 350 km above the Earth's surface in low Earth orbit. Basically, the low Earth orbit में क्या होता है हमारा ज़्यादातर? We have the communication satellites being placed in the low Earth orbit, and of course Starlink satellites had been placed in that low Earth orbit and not below but above the Karman line. Okay, so in Starlink के लिए both 1 and 2 are incorrect, so answer will be neither 1 nor 2. So basically Starlink is a satellite internet constellation project developed by SpaceX. SpaceX नाम important है for you guys. SpaceX is the name which is which the project belongs to, with the goal of providing high speed internet access to underserved and remote areas around the world. How it will do? It will be doing by the using of the constellation, the satellite constellation. It basically consists of thousands of small, approx 1000 small satellites in the low Earth orbit, and it typically at the altitude of 340 to 1200 kilometer above the Earth. Basically this is the important information, and the Karman line is the line 280 to 100 kilometers. Okay, and these satellites basically how they will provide, they will form a beam, they will form a network. That beam or the beams internet to ground stations. कैसे प्रोवाइड करेंगे? By beaming the internet to the ground stations. Okay, which the ground station then will distribute. The ground station will then will distribute, okay, to users via antennas installed in their houses or properties, जहां पे भी वो इंस्टॉल होगा. ठीक है, so it aims to offer the low latency, high bandwidth internet service, and particularly in rural areas. So that's why the government of India has given the permissions. Starlink has got in principle not to operate in India. ठीक है, the project however is in early stages. That you have to keep in mind with the ongoing launches of satellites, the beta testing of service in selected areas, and आज last week तक April 13 तक Starlink has launched approx 5000 satellites into the orbit, and apart from serving the residential users, Starlink also has plans to provide the internet connectivity to ships, aeroplanes, other mobile phones. So basically होगा क्या, आपको पता है अंतरिक्ष में ये रहेगा तो बहुत सारे एरिया पे ये नजर रख पाएगा और उनको कनेक्टिविटी प्रोवाइड कर पाएगा थ्रू द network that will beam the internet to the ground stations. Okay, so I hope the concept and the questions are clear to you. Let's see the last question we have. The question is on the CGI, the Chief Justice of India. He was in news because of the letter has been written to him with regard to the questions being raised on the functioning of judiciary. So CGI, it is common to refer to the office as primus inter pares, first among the equals. Yes, true. He is the master in that capacity. He is the head of the Supreme Court and master of roster. Master of roster. He can decide on the which cases which bench has to be constituted. So it is the first among the equals, just like the Prime Minister, who is the first among the equals in the cabinet. Second statement says, in the order of precedence, he is equal with the Speaker of Lok Sabha. Yes, true. He is on the 6th number of order of precedence and equal to the Speaker of Lok Sabha. The first being the President of India, second Vice President, third Prime Minister, fourth Governors. Okay, fifth is the former President, sixth and 5A is the Deputy Prime Minister if there is any. Then sixth number is CGI and Speaker of Lok Sabha. However, the Union Cabinet Minister, NSA, like Ajit Doval, and the Principal Secretary to Prime Minister will be in the 7th in the number of the order of precedence. So he is in the same order of precedence and shares with the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. The third statement says, the office of the Chief Justice of India comes under the purview of the Right to Information Act. Yes, very recently it has been observed, it has been the news that the CGI came under the office of the CGI. The office of the CGI came under the RT Act 2005, which means it is a public body, and RTI Act provide the information with regard to that office which has been sought. Okay, with regard to the CGI, what are the criteria? So of course all of the above are correct here. Okay, what are the criteria? He should be a citizen of India. First of all, he should be a citizen of India, and he should have been for at least 5 years. Kahan tak? A judge of a high court, basic criteria, or of 2 or more courts in such succession, or at least 10 year का उनका advocate का experience होना चाहिए, advocate experience for the 10 years or for 2 or more such courts in succession, or be in the opinion of President a distinguished jurist. अगर वो distinguished jurist भी हैं, in the opinion of President of India, a judge can be appointed. The CGI and judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President under article कौन सा important है 124 clause 2 especially govern the provisions, and as far as the CGI is concerned, the outgoing CGI recommend his successor. ठीक है, तो DY चंद्रचूड़ जाएंगे तो he can recommend his outgoing CGI, and then the Union Law Minister forward the recommendations to the Union Law Minister, then it forward the recommendations to the Prime Minister, who in turn advises the President of India, and the SC in the secondary case 1993 ruled that the senior most judge of the Supreme Court should alone be appointed to the office. However, in the third judge's case, it has been said that it needs to be a collegium. Okay, the collegium is a system of appointment and transfer of judges, and that has evolved to judgment of the Supreme Court by the second and third judge's case. It is thus common to refer the office of CGI as primus inter pares, the first among the equals, and beside his the role as the advocatory role, CGI also plays the role of an administrative head of the court. All the things are correct here. So let's see you again. Thank you very much. I hope you got the point. Take care.